Where's the other Kramer? There. You can't just drive up to them and use the refill your thing. Something I discovered in Farm Sim 17, even auger wagons will refill from a seed pallet without having to have a front loader. In 19. 17, you have to do it manually. Careful. Probably the first time in forever that I'm going to have these chaser bins loaded almost to capacity. Last one for that one. So apparently the Platinum Edition for Farm Sim 19 is going to include a class version of one of these, by the looks of it. Probably move the truck up a bit now. $19,500, okay, and we can cover that up. Yeah, you still have to pick them up and drop them on the end of each conveyor. So it's just as easy to pick them up and tip them into the bin. Whoops, wrong fuddle. I think, anyway. But, I mean, a conveyor will pick loose stuff up off the ground, but I don't think it picks up pallets. Which is why I ended up buying this second Kramer a couple of years ago. Because it was just annoying coming down here with the Massey in a truck every time I needed a refill. the tenders. But it's not really something you have to do that frequently. I don't use a lot of solid fertilizer, mostly for grass, and then one application if I'm using the planter, because workers don't work in FarmSim 19 if your planter's seed and fertilizer is not loaded. I think in 19 they use what they have, and if you haven't loaded one of them, then I just won't do that type of thing. I've also got a tank for the AR system back there with what is it? Liquid fertilizer in it. Oh, yeah, there's that possibility, but I've never tried to push a pallet onto a conveyor to see if it'll work that way. And this is working pretty much okay. No, that's fine. I know this method works. When we move to 19, I won't have to do it this way anymore. And when we move to 19, we're going to have to find a whole new batch of equipment, because another unfortunate thing is the AR frame system ain't in 19. And it is, quite frankly, an incredibly useful device or system. I prefer it to, when it first came out, I used to use the hook lift trucks and trailers, but I don't think there's an auger wagon for that. And obviously when you want to load up seeders and fertilizers, you kind of need an auger and not a tipper. And tipper's okay, but it gets you back to the farm, and all you can really do is dump it on the floor. Then of course you do need the conveyor to load it to stuff. Although there are some fairly nice buildings for seed and fertilizer storage, and supposedly tanks, although I've never got the tanks to work properly. But then, yeah, if I'm using a tipper, I don't have to get a hook lift for that. And frankly, I found the hook lift to be quite top heavy. The AR system's not quite so much. The AR frame system was created by, or converted from FarmSim 15 mod by GTX Mods, and he retired. I think GTX is now with Veles Mod Company. I could be wrong. But as far as I'm aware, he hasn't made an effort to convert it for 19, which is a shame because I like this system. Apart from the usual tippers, the auger wagons, it's got spreaders and sprayers, a field repair module, which is basically a trailer with toolkit on it so that you can that's in the right place, a toolkit on it so that you can repair stuff. It's got tankers so you can ship fuel and oh, let's close that back a bit up. You can repair things in field. Tankers so you can transport multitude of liquids. I've got digestate, transfer, liquid fertilizer and fuel tanks for this. They're all the same tank, I just painted them different colours for different reasons. There are... I can't remember what else there is. Oh, there's a mixer wagon, so you can mix TMR, and it's slightly larger than the... It's about 22,000 litres, which isn't an ideal capacity. Yeah, obviously anything divisible by 4 is better because you can put bales straight in it, whereas 22,000 you can fit 5 bales in and there's a bit left over. Okay, that door's open. I think I'll close that on the way through. I have been meaning to come back this way for quite a while. Of course, there is one problem with that manure wagon being empty. I can't finish off the field because it's empty. Okay, I'm going to park this up on the left here. Okay, so how much pig manure do we have left? 98,000. Liquid's going fine. Okay. So you think you're done? I think you might be right. Drive once around the field just to make sure. I think that's our cultivating all done. I'll probably bring the manure down to this field. Yeah, that's all done. Fold up. Yeah, by all means, if you want to test it, you can do. As yeah, we're coming to the end of this series. Farm Sim 19 has almost been out for a year. I've been streaming for a year next month. And this farm, I think, has been featured since the get-go. Clean. I might as well give you a clean as well, although you're going straight back out in the field. Maybe not today. We'll jump back in. I'll turn the engine off for now. Okay, next tractor. Manure truck. Okay, you take back to the main yard. So we'll drop this guy down to field 5. Since it's a smallish field, maybe the manure will last that long. We'll have to patch the edges of this field with the slurry. Go. Yeah, the yards are good sizes, but they do have some choke points. Put him there. We'll open up the back and set him on his merry way. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's good enough. We need to find, there we go. You are empty. So we'll fill this up from the cow slurry tank. I may switch it over to auto load from the pig slurry tank because that's further to go. Okay, so, oh, we got a ton of liquid manure there though, a ton more there. Let's examine the map, see how we're doing. So 5 is pretty much done. There's a little bit on the edge there that wasn't. We can run down there and do that. And 7 we've got to run all the way along this edge. We'll do that with slurry 2. I missed a bit there, I'm not fussed now. Manure's planting there. That's fine. That's a grass field. We're going to have to go over that sometime. And then it's just these two fields need done. So we're going to have to touch up along the east and west edge of field 4 with the slurry tank. We done? Oh, we're full. Syrian's a little bit harder to turn around. It's a 4-wheel steer, but it usually outsteers whatever it's hauling. Plus, I'm generally hauling heavier equipment with it anyway. Although the horsepower difference between this Axion and the Zerion isn't particularly significant. So, come around here and we will turn that on. That's the problem I found with 4-wheel steer tractors is they can very frequently oversteer when compared to the equipment they're hauling. The hitches aren't quite long enough. It's very rare I have problems with 2-wheel steer. Ouch. I saw that coming. And once we've used up all the manure, all the slurry, we've still got getting on for about 790,000 litres of digestate up at the BGA, which still needs to be used. Missing a couple of bits on those corners. Check. Actually, we're still early spring. We can't plant corn or soybeans until late spring. It's one of the reasons I was kind of only using a couple of tractors for this work. Turn off. So I've still got 2 more days after today to prepare fields until I can actually plant them. corner. And I think that one there. Let's do a check on the state of that. I'm going to call that reasonably done. 5 is reasonably done, 4 is getting done. We can take this down to field 3. I did it again. Should probably be driving from the cab rather than from 500 feet behind the tractor. So I'll fill this up as we drive by. Okay. So we run this round to 3. I need to change the feed. That's coming from cow slurry, pig slurry. A, we have more of it, and B, it's further away, so this is more convenient to fill the tank. I may do 2 first. Just because 2's the bigger field. And off he goes. Good enough. Let's go put the cultivator away. Oh, I just noticed something. Kind of running it